Yay. Oh my gosh. Gee, it's good to be live. At least you don't have to contact me with a seance or something when I'm live. I always make the same joke. I'm still alive. Hey, hey. Okay. I'm silly. Hello, Linda. Hi, baby. How you doing? I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for people to come in. I got my pretty tie-dye on. My tie-dye hoodie. It's real silky. I love tie-dye. Hi, Marie. How are you doing? Oh, yeah. Oh, dear. I figure I had to make it late so that some of the people who are in later regions who are in different regions can have some fun and come in and see us. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Okay, so we got 3 of you. Now 3 of you are trapped. Yeah, I got my hoodie on. Now I'm going to have to do some rap. Maybe I will. I think I will. Yeah, maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see what the traffic can bear. Of course, it's going to be mine. It's not going to be everybody else's. It's going to be mine. My rap. Yes, you do, Murray. From this direction, too, sweetheart. You have gloves surrounding you. Absolutely, absolutely. I was going to ask you, Marie, you don't think this little thing running around at Bombers has anything to do with those things you were talking about, do you? Because I saw this weird little thing at Bombers, and it was fast. And we got rid of some other stuff, but I'm not sure, because that seemed to be something she pulled in from the forest. I'm not sure that that's gone. I'm hoping it's not one of those things. Okay. Oh, Bigfoot Odyssey. Oh, it's okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's usually why I start like at 10 or at 11:30. I forgot why. That's okay. We can be here and wait for them. We can do some stuff. We can do some stuff that they'll miss because they were in the wrong place. No, they're not in the wrong place. I don't care. I'm fine with it. I'm not making a living off this anyway. Never have. So, although I appreciate everybody's generous donations. You guys have been sweet. And it does help because I have things that I'd like to get, and mostly it's things like applications Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm yawning like crazy tonight. Um, I'm glad you prefer being with me, Mary. Yeah, I'm just not that interested. I'm sorry, I can't get very interested in Bigfoot. It's just, I'm going to end up seeing one someday. I'm not looking forward to seeing it. I can wait. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Hi, Chris. How you doing? I'll try. What, the yawning? Oh, or Mama's energy. Oh, your mom's energy. Oh, maybe she likes the show. Who knows? It sure is cold here. Oh, you did, Richard? Happy birthday. Everybody sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now that you're 62. Happy birthday to you. And many more. What's that, jazz hands? I'm wearing a hood, but it's a tie-dye hood. You know what? I was looking at this, and I love tie-dye. But if you kind of look at this thing, yeah, happy birthday. Yay. It almost looks like I was in a bad accident. It looks like there should be words on the front that say, I'm fine. You know, it almost looks kind of like something bled all over me in a way because of the way that it's kind of all spotty and stuff. Maybe I'm an axe murderer. Maybe an axe murderer put this together. I'm not going to put all that into the dough. Cancel all that, as they say. No, but I just realized it because I saw somebody making fun of fashion trends that are ghastly. And one of them was, honestly, these bloody looking clothes. Clothes that look like, you've been spattered with blood, or that somebody dumped a bucket of blood down your front or something. It's really, and some of them are even in, oh no, geez, I need a cure for this. Some of them are even like all in sequins and stuff. God, is that weird? That is really weird. So, on Channel 4, many more on Channel 4. I'm not privy to what's on Channel 4, I guess. We didn't have anything on Channel 4 when I was a kid, but static. That's all you got on Channel 4. Yeah, it's tie-dyed. It looks like somebody dyed this shirt. Yeah, it's very weird. The more I looked at it in the mirror and I'm like, holy cow. There's just something about the way it is dyed, but anyway. Oh, okay. I see. So, I'm trying to build a website. I'd really thank you to try out the website that I put in Woo Crew, and I'm still working on it. so it may change. It probably will. But just tell me if the links work and stuff. I don't know. It's really hard to like get there without going in as the creator of it to really make sure what's going on with the website. But I tried to look at it with my phone. Oh gosh, it's hard to edit for a phone, for a mobile. So sorry about that, folks. It's really not the way I would expect it to turn out, but it probably will look fine on your PC, but I don't know about your phone or your tablet. So oh, how people dress, really? Yeah, I guess it is. Oh, well, thank you. It is warm. Yeah, this is tie-dye. Oh, gosh, what is going on? Lately, I can sleep at the drop of a hat. And I have a lot of hats. So if I knock over a bunch of hats, I'm in trouble. I could sleep a long time and not even get up for a while. But no, I can it's like I can just fall asleep. And it's my sniffle season because we've had a lot of rain and my thing is leaf mold. And so guess what? Until it freezes over again, we've been having all this cold rain. Drinking water, I probably need to drink more. I never drink enough, probably. Yeah, maybe I do. Actually, what I need is a doctor that will really help me with my thyroid issues. That's what I need. I need somebody or something that will really help me get the thyroid issues under control. Because it's obvious that that's what it is. It's like all of the symptoms are there, but they can't find it. There's such a thing as non-clinical thyroid issues that don't show up in tests. But unless it's growing and choking you, they won't do anything about it around here anymore. It seems like there's people that have nearly been choked to death by their thyroid before they actually do anything. And then what they want to do is kill it and put you on Synthroid or something, or thyroxine all your life. I'm not prepared for that. So this has got to be cured some other way. And it can be. In the old days, it would be iodine and desiccated thyroid. And Armor Thyroid was great, and people swore by it. And you could actually get better, not worse. You could actually recover from having thyroid issues. But you can it's hard to find the right stuff now, and it's hard to find a doctor that will prescribe it anymore. Because if you get well, then they can't keep charging you for procedures and medicine and stuff. And, so it's like they don't cure stuff now. It's so hard to find a doctor that's interested in actually curing something. Yeah. I have, Annie. I have. Oh, well. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I have an underactive thyroid. That's what it's always been. I mean, dry hair, dry skin, nails, brittle nails, and the whole 9 yards. My skin is so dry that in the wintertime I put on lotion, and then I feel it and it's like it's all soaked in really fast. It's like it's weird. It's like it'll be fine and then it'll just go and my skin's all dry again. Then it's so weird. Then I have to put it on again. I want to make sure all my skin doesn't like crack off. Yeah, it's some money. It's really weird. Well, I take all that stuff. Really, I'm pretty schooled on nutrition. I have to be. I'm still alive. If it wasn't for that, maybe I wouldn't be. I am pretty good at nutrition. I mean, I know a lot. I have checked into all kinds of things. I have supplements sitting over there that are probably helping me stay alive and sane. You know, I mean, one of the really helpful things is C60. It is a super antioxidant. It scavenges free radicals, and I recommend that. But it can be very expensive. But you can find it on Amazon cheap. You can. In fact, that's what it's called, good and cheap. I don't get any kickback for that. I wish I did. I'd put it on my site. I would put the good and cheap stuff on my site because there are people that are selling this for $300 or $400 a bottle. And it's basically the same stuff. As long as it's pure and it's in, but they have to sell it. In this case, they're selling it like for testing only. I think that's how they get by with selling it so cheap. This is just for testing. So, yeah, they book an appointment. You don't get anything from it. And then you go buy the medicine. The medicine maybe makes you worse. Yeah. I know. Hasn't anybody noticed that almost every new thing they do seems to kill people or hurt them or damage them? Yeah, it was President Rajoelina of Madagascar when they were questioning him about his cure for that little bug that we got, that little worldwide bug, which the cure is Artemisia tincture. They use folk remedies. They don't use what is called allopathic medicine, which is what we use. Over here, we try to kill it. We try to stab it and cut it and burn it and poison it. And over there, they just give it some plants and they have natural remedies. Gosh. So I got myself some Artemisia. Artemisinine, you can get that. Yep. Well, in our society, the way it is now, voting with your dollar. So about the only way they hear you. If you refuse when people pay money for one thing and refuse another, it seems to be about the only thing they listen to. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't just go and start blaming people, yada, yada. You gotta say, this isn't working. This just isn't working. I'm going to try to do that. It's like, this just isn't working, Doc. Isn't there something else? And then if they tell me, if I go and they try, they try to give you a radioactive pill. You don't even get any special spider powers or anything out of it. it just kills your thyroid and makes you radioactive. Like I'm really going to do that. On what in what universe is that the right thing? In what universe is that doing no harm? I'm sorry, but it seems to me like that's harming. And so is all the cutting and stuff, especially when the Rife machines that Royal Rife developed, they could cure anything. Remember, this is in-game advice. We can't really diagnose or cure anything. At least we got to say this. We got to explain that. Explain it that way. But actually, Royal Rife, he had figured out frequency. He could use frequencies and he could strengthen or kill or weaken anything. His research has resurfaced, though. I was one of the people who was really pushing for that. I was seeding. I was dropping the seeds in every area that I thought might help. And it is returning. Resonance therapy is returning. Yeah, the practice of medicine. Let's just practice a little bit. We haven't got it yet, but we need more practice. Oops, there goes another one. Darn, we need more practice. Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. I've heard so many stories, and they're sad. They're very sad. It is harming. Nobody, and it's so weird that this is just on and on. The more stuff that comes out, we sooner or later find that it's hurting and killing people. They can't seem to put anything out anymore that's harmless. I mean, what's going on? Oh, I'm not going to blame you anyway. I wouldn't blame you anyway. Yeah, maybe I'll talk to your mom a little later. We'll see if she wants to talk. She must like to watch the show, though, if you feel her around you every time I come on. Maybe she just likes me. I don't know. A lot of spirits just like me. They just like me. It's like, hi, how you do? I'm nice to them, just like anybody. They like to be acknowledged, shown a little bit of love, and just she likes me. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Marie's mom. Maybe we'll talk, some point. You have a lovely daughter. Yeah, everything they say is not going to hurt us ends up killing us. And then you really don't worry. This is absolutely going to fix you up. Oh, it'll fix you, all right. It'll fix you good and permanent. I know. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, this is and people, who's really happy about having to go to the doctor? Does anybody ever skip in there? Tra-la-la-la-la. I know I'm going to feel better when I come out. I'm going to get better. Does anybody ever like that? No, they're like, I got to go to the doctor. I got to go to the doctor. And they drag themselves. And it's a trial. It's it's horrible. We shouldn't feel that way. We should go to a doctor's office and go, I'm going to be better soon. And you know what? Those diagnostic tables I wrote that they had in the Star Trek, where you just lie on them and they give you a readout of everything and they have all the colors and everything. I saw that in my head and I wrote about it. I wrote a fan story with that diagnostic table in it before the movie ever came out. I think that thing may be real somewhere. Once again, this brings us back to the subject. Could sci fi and fantasy actually be memories? We've done a little bit of traveling by remote viewing, and so have others. Gosh darn, doesn't it look like some of our science fiction stories are actually the truth, and maybe even some of them disclosure? Or are they predictive programming? You tell me. Yeah, everybody does. Nobody wants to go there. Yeah, it's like I'm sitting here, and since I've been 62 years, which is how old I am too, in 62 years, it hasn't changed that much, except it's gotten a little worse. They're still cutting and poisoning and burning people. By now, we should have that damn diagnostic table that you can just get on and it'll tell them what's wrong and then start to fix it. That's what we should have by now. Look at how everything else is advanced. Why hasn't that happened? You mean to tell me they can't really do that? I'm sure they can. Somebody can. Well, I'm not sure if it's all from the Bible, but perhaps ancient writings. Perhaps ancient writings, because some of it, sure enough, is straight up from the Upanishads, the Hindu stuff. I mean, Vimanas talks about Vimanas. By the way, I saw a white rod hanging in the sky beyond the clouds today as the sky was starting to clear. And so I tried that contact thing that they tell you to do just to see what would happen. And I thought, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I thought, hey, if you can hear me, if you're some kind of spacecraft and you can hear me, do something to let me know you can heard what I said. And it disappeared. Oh, well, if you're going to be that way about it, it did. It just vanished. Well, that was something. I think I think from what I could tell, most science fiction is probably not that far off from reality. Now, whether it's reality here on this planet at this time, maybe not. But then again, maybe. They live. There's a lot of things that came out in the 60s and 70s, and we were just taking them as fiction, a good science fiction story. One of them, somebody mentioned in a video, and it was a John Levy video, to go watch A Boy and His Dog. It's about a post-apocalyptic era, and there's this big, they dig through the mud and the dirt to the tops of a house to get in to pillage it, basically to salvage it. That's what they do there in order to survive. It's sort of a Mad Max type scenario. I remember reading it. I guess there's a movie out. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm going to watch the movie. But it's post mud flood. And it is probably what society would have been like post mud flood. You know, the people who managed to survive probably wouldn't be doing that well, and they would probably be salvaging whatever they could salvage and living off of that. So, yeah, the very, very rich probably have access, and that's not you, though. We shouldn't be able to have blackouts yet by now. Yeah, the phones and stuff are now, you know, it's funny because in one of the Star Trek movies, they go back to the past and one of the teenagers looks at his communicate at Captain Kirk's communicator and says, "Why has he got that really old phone?" It's one of my favorite lines. No, we shouldn't have blackouts either. Oh, well, you could stop drinking. I'm kidding. Blackouts. Just kidding. I don't think it's just about the money. It is about the money, Richard, but not all. I think a lot of it's about power. Yeah. And they use technology not for public health, for other stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a, hey, Todd. Well, yeah, tonight's a later night to try and get some people who, like you and Marie and some of the Aussie people, so that they can come in at an easier time for them. So I'm trying to kind of vary the times a little bit so everybody can get in that I know. So hey. So yeah, we're talking about how is science fiction really just us remembering other lives, other times? Here's the worst part. It looks like a lot of these things that they act like happened thousands of years ago wasn't that long ago. It wasn't as long ago as they tell us. And I checked this with my pendulum. So far, my pendulum's been doing pretty good on things. So I have a tendency to think it's probably true about this too. My pendulum work has been going pretty well. In fact, now my hair is going to be all messed up. But my hair's already kind of messed up. So anyway, yeah, everything is, I think everything's about power, really. Well, gee, let me see if I can find it for you. No, I'm not going to do it that way. I'll do it this way. Oh, I have something for you here I want to show you. Hang on. This, every time I see this, it gets me. Okay, I'm going to be kind of experimenting. So, bear with me, because I'm new at this. And let's see. I think I have it right now. Yes. Okay. Can you see what I'm showing you here? Okay. Lady of Elche. This is what I was trying to think of. A pit for my pendulum. Amazing stories. I missed some. Did I miss some stories? Cool. Hi, Aaron. Okay. Here's the Lady of Elche. I'll play a little bit of it. This is from Roger's channel. He probably won't hurt me. I'll play just a little bit.
Please pause this video and take a real good look at the many images of this artifact. The Lady of Belcher was found in Spain and was dated to be around 2,500 years old, a time that predates the Roman Empire. And her head shape predates the Egyptians.
Now notice,
and also,
she didn't originally look like that. They redid her face.
Maybe for all that it's actually a real humanoid body. That's what I said. The real petrified.
Are they hiding the fact that she was a real person?
You know that you came and you changed our world.
And what was that crazy headdress?
Girl. Carl, thank you, buddy. All right, here's the deal. This was the original.
That was the way she originally looked.
They're showing somebody that had a deformed nose. Well, that's not what happened here, I don't believe, and a deformed lip earlier in the video. This is the product of being laying on the face and this being pushed over this way. And that piece of nose is missing. Now, I'm going to show you a head that I had a lot of, we'll talk about it in a minute, with a very similar situation on the nose. Now, this can easily
looks a bit like Michael Jackson on a bad day.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I have every reason to believe that that is real. Okay, you saw the nose on the other one. It was broken off. Well, that one was already completely solidified.
And here's the thing.
And the nose snapped
if it's
off.
A sculpture,
see the, you know, you
why would
now,
they sculpt it with a broken nose?
This guy was killed, and his head,
which
into the
is
ground,
what this is,
and that's
the bashed-in head
of his nose. You see it, and that's the cartilage inside, and that's the flesh moved apart. That's his eyeballs.
See?
You see that? That's the eyeball, and that's the I forget what they call it, but you can actually look and see the look.
That's one of his videos. That oh, and here is what he has to say about the monolith.
I will show you.
I hope Roger doesn't get upset.
Well, this is a bit graphic, but it is a real.
And I wanted to show you this. If
That
you're not,
scene is that
hope you're ready for this.
scene that I talked about. You see that?
Oh, wait a minute.
This is called a carved
Oh, wait a minute.
cave, the womb cave. That is not carved.
Oh, wait a minute. I did it wrong. Yes, he's about to show you a giant with JJ.
It breaks the scene.
He's about to show you a giant vagina. So, just so you know. Let me take this one out. Stop that one. I'm learning this stuff, guys, okay? So, be gentle with me. Don't hate me when I screw up. Okay. Here we go.
I will show you.
Hopefully, I've got that
this
one.
This is a bit graphic, but it is.
It is graphic.
Ancient vagina.
This is Roger.
That little tiny scene is that scene that I talked about. You see that? This is called a carved cave, the womb cave. That is not carved, my friends. That is a vagina. And this could be all tested. Now, in addition to that, whenever you see moss growing, and usually the green, the red, the green.
I hate
moss,
to say, at first I was very
almost
skeptical,
always from
but the
reddish
more
red.
I see,
And then lichen
the more
is
I
the
think to
opposite. It's
myself,
from black.
how dumb do we
It's
have to
faint.
be to not be able
So
to
this is still
recognize
has
what that is?
things feeding this.
That is not
These
a carving.
There's no question what it is. Nobody carved that little tiny seed. No, that was carved. And that's what a geologist would say right now. Archaeologist, paleontologist.
Okay, it's okay. You can believe whatever you want.
Right now. And then they refuse, and then they walk away. They just laugh and walk away. So it's time to.
You can believe whatever you
I
want.
need you to step up because I have been shut down. I am.
And you know, he's another person who's actually very bright and doesn't really get much recognition.
That's made from the inside of a creature that carved it out, and that's
it looks like meat because it is meat.
Now,
I've picked up so many rocks, and as a kid, you know, I was thinking, gosh, this looks like, or when I was younger, gosh, this looks like meat.
This is somebody.
What if it is meat?
Very, very, very artfully.
Well, here's the weird thing, is there's more than one of those, and they're in various conditions. That's just one of the best ones. There's a lot of womb caves. There's several of them they found, big enough to walk around in. We've been told that there were giants and titans.
Now, all of these balls that you see all over.
He'll go through and show you. Now, this is something about. I was just going to show you this much because honestly, I get really tired of not people just negating it like immediately, like, you know, just saying, no, that can't be. And it's like, well, it's easy to say that at first, but the more you see and the more you see and the more you see, then you start thinking, as crazy as it seems, it's just too much. There's just too much of it. There's so much of it. There's so much that it's almost hard now to not believe it for me. You know, I'm trying to stay neutral on this, but I can't stay neutral anymore. I've just seen too many of these things. Yes, you see, it turns out that it doesn't take very long for flesh to become petrified. They actually found a thing called the Limestone Cowboy. Let's see if I can find it for you. Limestone. Oops, it would help if I typed it right. Humorously found it, and let me see if I can get a good picture up here, images, and okay, let me see, since I'm practicing screen sharing. This is good for me. Okay, here's what they're calling the Limestone Cowboy. It is a petrified foot. There's the bone. It's petrified. It's turned to stone. And it's in a modern boot. This boot is not that old. And this, by way of saying, see if I can get this a little bigger. This is a modern boot. This wasn't made that long ago. It was only like in the 60s or 70s or something that this, I think they said 70s, boot. They even figured out exactly what kind of boot it is. So this is not that old. And so it doesn't take thousands of years for something to become stone. Well, has Todd got to go? Okay, Todd. We'll talk tomorrow, okay? I know we had something to talk about, but we'll talk tomorrow then if you gotta go to bed. I got you. Yeah. So it doesn't really take that long. So that means that some of this could have happened. Some of the things we find could be fairly new. I mean, only decades old. It doesn't have to be centuries. It doesn't have to be thousands of years old to be petrified. To petrify if it lands in the right conditions. If it lands in mud, the mud will petrify it. It's just the way the biology works. So what we could be seeing, now we have people dating it, carbon dating and whatever, but they really, in order to carbon date properly, they have to have carbon. That is some kind of creature, living thing, or plant or something in it. So why couldn't there be humans that big at one point? Why? There are smaller people. Just recently, somebody's also made a video about pygmies. I mean, there are much smaller people. Why can't, and we know that the Tartarians were very much larger than us. I mean, heck, Zulu were larger than us. You know, some of them are huge. They're like 8-9 feet tall. So they found a suit of armor in China that was made for a 10-foot tall warrior. They have it on display in China. So, and we also hear stories of little people. And if one of us died, or if one of them died, one of these giants died and got basically petrified, and you're only like a few inches tall, wouldn't that look like a mountain range to you? I'm just saying, is it really that impossible? I don't think it is. I don't think it's impossible. Well, they are in a way. But see, we already know that we're being deceived about a lot of things. And the Smithsonian comes in and cleans up things. We know that too. They're real good at it. How do we know? How do we know that some of these things, okay, I'll look at that in a minute. Okay, thanks, Jarvis. I can't click it from here. I can't click it from StreamYard. Can you just tell me the basic thing? Because, you know, if you're petrified and you turn to stone, you don't have to be that old. So it's almost like You could find somebody that they were finding people, in fact, in the bogs in Ireland that were sacrificed in the bogs of Ireland that were perfectly preserved. Well, yeah, I can't look that up right now. I can't click that in here, so I'll have to look at it later. So how do we know that they're not just shining us on about that too? See, that's just it. If they were honest with us, then I'd say, if they had a track record, a good track record, if the authorities had a real good track record and they were telling us the truth right along, I would say, oh, heck, that's just a bunch of hooey. They've got it all checked out. But that's not what we find. We usually find that they're lying to us. They've lied to us about so many things. So now it's balanced on the other side. It's weighted on the other side for me. It's almost like I've gone, and when I was younger, I trusted it. I trusted the authorities. And so everything was weighted in more in that direction. Well, they'd tell us. Why wouldn't they tell us? But now, knowing what I know, what I've learned since then, now I'm weighted more on the other side to, now you got to prove to me that you're telling me that this is really what you're telling me. Because you've already lied to me so many times that if I just believe you out of hand, I'm just being stupid, okay? Because you lie. You're a psychopathic liar. So you cannot believe a second. So now it's weighted in the other direction, see? So to me, it's likely, more likely than not likely. So that's just my way of looking at it. Oh, Pfizer released that the pandemic was over. Was it just, I don't know who naughty is. Ooh, if the pandemic's over, that's not the Onion, is it? But, okay, Annie. Yeah, this is the late show for people who need a later show. I'm trying to kind of vary it for, naughty Beaver. Yeah, I'm varying the times for people in different time zones. So just trying to keep in mind that I love everybody. Okay, Annie, and I sure understand not being able to keep your eyes open. Take care, girlfriend. Oh, I got my hair all messed up under here. Yeah. I have to check that out, Naughty Beaver. I'll need a link to that. That would certainly be nice, wouldn't it? We can throw the masks in the dustbin and say, "Hey, Ben, how you doing?" That's okay. So, I just wanted your opinion. And if you don't, if you, this isn't, your thing, I understand. It's hard to think, really mind-bending to think that you could be looking at a mountain and that it could be a person. Weird, I mean, that's just so freaky that you could walk inside a petrified person. Ah! That we might just be living on a pile of corpses. Well, that's not very palatable. Hey, Ben. Although it does have a certain sense to it. The flood obviously happened, and numerous remote viewers have seen a world war in our past involving what appears to be nukes. Now, we're told that this is a new technology. And that's a lie. I'm convinced that's a lie. And you know what? What if all these attacks on our pineal gland and our cognitive function and stuff is to make sure we can't remember and we can't see for ourselves? What if that's it? I mean, there's got to be a reason. What kind of power would that give us if we knew the truth? If we could all see the truth? If we were all telepathic, if we were all strong telepaths, if we could all remote view, if we all had all of these skills intact, what kind of power would we have? Well, probably a lot more power than a ruling class would like you to have, which is why I'm teaching the remote viewing classes. I'm just contributing in my own weird little way. Oh, really, truth. I'm feeling such an up and down of emotions. Like sometimes I'll be great. Usually after we do a drumming, I'm great. I don't have pain. Hi, Denali. Hello, sweetheart. How you doing? Yeah, it's... Oh, you loving the remote viewing? We can do some of that tonight if you like. We can do a little remote view if you like, if you guys all want to. Okay. Yeah, it's so up and down. It's like I will be fine after we've been drumming, and even after I'm hungry, but otherwise I feel great after the drum. The drum just seems to fix so many things for me. I mean, it fixes my attitude, it fixes my pain. It just, I'm not hurting afterwards. I'm in a good mood. I'm very calm. I sleep better, everything. It's almost like I want to do it all the time. I wouldn't mind doing it a little bit every single time we got together if you guys don't mind. I mean, would that be boring or would you like it? Yeah, it would be a world-ending event. I gotcha, Aaron. But we saw a world-ending event in the last remote view we did. We saw one. A huge one. And there is some indication in the stories that there were weapons that could cause this. They actually had weapons. And they used it to make... They were such a... I guess you would call it depraved. Trying not to be judgmental about it, but their sensibilities were different. They do it just to make lawn ornaments. That's what people... Historically, not everybody's been so nice. So your little Abby could end up somebody's lawn ornament. Some kind of a... but yeah, everybody talks about this big flood thing. I'm not convinced it was as long ago as we thought. In this world-ending event, I'm not convinced it was as long ago as we're being told. Not really convinced, not entirely. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe there's things that happened much sooner than that. Our written history, there are people who have really been looking into this. Our recorded history. Oh, hi, Olin. How you doing? Our recorded history starts in the mid-1800s, really. The stuff that we can actually see, that we can actually have proof, some kind of proof, photographs and stuff. So before that, we kind of have to go with what people are telling us. But hi. So, oh, wow. Isn't that cool? A lot of parents will be relieved. Yeah, we've been told the earth has been reset. I'm not even sure it hasn't been more than that, Denali. But we have been told that. Who's to say that that's wrong? And if it has, what would the consequences be? If there were creatures that big, and we know that the dinosaurs were huge. I'm thinking of the creatures that were falling out the rents and tears in the partition when we were doing the crossing over. And thank goodness for Micah coming in and helping to repair those. That was a big job. That really did happen, I mean, more than one of us saw that happen. Several of us saw that. It wasn't just me. I have a couple of friends that weren't even at our event that when we replayed it, they saw it. So these things were falling out. And this is another complete shaman who didn't know what we were doing was telling me about these creatures that were coming out these rents in the fabric. What I see it is a partition. It's kind of like when you have an antivirus, it puts it in a containment. They were trying to break down the containment so that those things could come in. Now, it's like if you ever saw Stephen King's Them, the movie Them, the big bugs, the bit about the big bugs. But the real horror was the church lady was right. There are people who never forgave him for that one. Spoiler alert. But the big bugs, we were seeing that in the astral. Did they want to do any harm? No, really, they were confused. It took several shamans to send them all back, and we're still not sure we got them all back or home. We're still not sure we're rid of them all. But if that's the insects, and they're as big as a man, I mean, the beetle that I pulled out of Bomber's closet was a foot long. Well, then how big are the bigger creatures? If those are just the small things here, how big are the really big creatures there? And could this hold our answers? I don't know. I haven't got that information yet for sure. But it could be. Just thinking about it. Hey, I'd kind of like to hear your thoughts about it. Yeah, BP, Ben, you weren't here for that. You'd have to look at past shows to find it. Yeah, we were talking about that. It was a shamanic thing. Several shamans have been encountering these giant bugs in the astral. And I know that you don't know much about that and don't even know if you believe in it. So I'm not really going to go back over to try and explain how that works, just that these were independently found things. I mean, we didn't convene with each other before we found them. We found them all separately. So that's kind of compelling, actually, that these things were hanging out in the astral, causing some problems. And that's what I saw falling out of these rents and tears, too. That's where they were coming from. And then a couple other shamans said that they were finding that, too. I'm like, wow. And what it looked like to me is like they were trying to bring the whole thing down so there was no partition, which is actually what a virus would want to do. If you think about it, it's bring down the containment fields so it could get loose again. Because I had that happen on one of my computers. It kept trying to hop over the wall. It kept trying to find a way through the wall. If you have a particularly nasty one, they'll try to do stuff. One of them put itself in the backups, would constantly, so every time the computer would back up, it would be again. Maybe that actually happened. Wow. So, after having fought these things on my computer, it is acting like a virus. And these people who are talking about, who want us to forget, the forgetting stuff seems to be one of the manifestations of the virus. Because a virus will do that. It'll completely screw your memory and just clog it completely, which would have happened. I mean, that's what we had. That's what we did. Crossing all these people over took a whole lot of stress off of the memory of this realm, so to speak, if you want to put it in those terms, which is a good thing. But, I'm wondering, was somebody trying to crash the system? Yeah, it looks like it. How? By overloading it with a bunch of clogged forms that needed to return. I know that sounds wild, but, that's me. Whatever. Yeah. Me too. I think so too, Linda. I mean, once again, we're so lied to. I'm to the point where I'm up for anything. I'll at least think about almost anything you come up with. Even flat Earth, I'll entertain the idea. Because that's a hard one for a lot of people to fathom. I'll look at it. I'll look at that. Honeycomb Earth, I'll look into that too. Hollow Earth, I'll look into that too. Okay, you know what? If it's code, it could be anything. It could look like anything. If it's code, it can be any shape. Yeah, Denali was saying, like, Men in Black, the movie. Once again, is science fiction telling us the truth? A truth that they can't openly tell us. See, they can't really tell people, just like here. If I tell somebody uninitiated to any of this, oh, and by the way, giant bugs, they're going to flip out. Oh, and by the way, that's not just a carving, that's a real vagina of a giant person. They're going to, excuse me, I'm going to move this around so it's going to wiggle a little bit because I'm falling out of my chair. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. You have me on the edge of my seat. I'm going to put this down a little bit so I'm not falling out of my seat. Yeah, you know what? I think so, Olin. I'm beginning to think that a lot of this stuff is not just willy-nilly coming into our heads. I think we're remembering things. Bits of our memory returning. What if it's that? What if that's really what it is? I'm a writer. I write songs. I've written stories. I wrote short stories, mostly science fiction and fantasy. Um, so I was a writer for a while, for other people though. And so I don't have any books. I should. I should write a book. I kind of feel like maybe I got one coming. But, you know, it always seems when you're writing a song or a story, it seems like it's already there. When it comes in, it feels more like you're remembering it. And then the characters, they kind of take on a life of their own too. Sometimes they do things you're not expecting. That's some of the best ones. I don't know. I can't prove it. But I also can't disprove it. Nobody can. Yeah, I agree. Denali, I agree. If the kids say there's a monster under the bed, act like there's a monster under the bed, even if you can't see it. Get out the sage. Get out the salt. Yeah. See, somebody knows. I know somebody knows. Somebody absolutely knows all about all this. We're just not allowed to know. That's what I think. Yeah, quantum physics. I know. Some of it is very hard to fathom and hard to swallow at first and shocking. And, I didn't think I could be shocked by much. And I'm not shocked by much, honestly, at this point. It's really hard to shock me these days. Surprise me, yes. Surprise, I can be surprised. Shocked? Not so much anymore. Not after all the stuff I've seen. Very, very hard to actually shock me. Yeah, they'll never tell you, Ben. Not us, anyway. Yeah. See, I think that may be too why people, once they see Sasquatch and they talk to Sasquatch, then the Sasquatch are bugging them all the time. There's some kind of rule they have to abide by, probably. But once you know about it, then the rule goes away. And they don't have to abide by that anymore because you already know. So they don't have to, they don't have to go by that anymore. See my lovely high forehead? It's where I keep my extra brains, right here. Okay, just thought I'd show you that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if they really decide that the pandemic's over, that will be a signal of a big change. That's the signal we've been waiting for. Yeah. Some kind of rule. But once you see them, once you talk to them, then maybe they'll bang on your door in the middle of the night until they bang your door off the hinge. Because now the rule's gone. That rule's gone. You already know about them. It's only on as long as it's a secret. You don't know. See, that's what I think too. I know I'm probably in line to meet a Sasquatch. I've already mind spoke with him. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to end up meeting a Sasquatch at some point. I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm not sure I really am. Some people would love that. I'm sitting here going, I don't know. Right. Because now they know that you know. So they're not worried about it anymore. The role's gone. That's what I think is going on because I can hear them. There's a lot of their concerns are we have guns. That can still hurt them, you know. Guns still hurt. There's other concerns. But, you know, but mostly the reason they're not coming right out is because of rules. They got rules. They got rules they got to abide by. But once you see them and once you know them, then the rules are gone and they can talk to you and they can show up whenever and it's not forbidden anymore. Kind of interesting. And who made the rules that way? And why is it, you know, if I told you what's in my head about this, it would sound very weird. I'll tell you what's rolling around in my head. It may be a communication, maybe intel, I don't know. Or it may just be, I don't know what it is. But it looks like Avatar was a hint. Avatar was a hint. This space-going species, they can switch avatars. They can switch bodies. Like we change our clothes. It's even better than in the movie. Yeah, I think it's probably both. Yeah, right. I'm worried about how I would be right off because I hear you can have a very visceral reaction to them. And my adrenals are already exhausted from I've seen so much. I have seen so much and have been so scared. I have had so much scary stuff for so long. I haven't even told you guys about it. When you have so much scary stuff for so long, your adrenals just get tired and they just go, you know, it's that fight or flight. You can't digest food right. You can't think right. It just does so much harm to your body, which is probably how a lot of things happen to me. I was in very scary situations for long periods of time. And now that I'm not, it's a whole different world, let me tell you. It's a way different world. Well, see, now what they told me about children is, for one thing, children generally don't carry guns. And most of the time, children are not believed. They're written off. And children have a tendency to be more open-minded, especially the young ones. They don't know that people can't be that big and hairy. They don't know. So they just kind of accept it. Well, this big hairy guy talked to me. I remember one person's account was she would call them the hairy people, and her parents thought she was talking about the hippies. So she tried to tell them. Yeah, children generally don't try to hurt them. Adults get scared and scream and run and get the gun. Yeah. Well, I would too if I were them. I would too. I'm sorry. We can be very, very dangerous critters. Yeah, and they don't have their block on, so they can see. And they can probably mind speak as well. And I was told that they'd been talking to me since I was a kid. They'd known me since I was a kid. Walking around the woods, playing in the woods like I did. Playing outside. They knew who I was. Actually, I kind of had a feeling that one of them kind of missed me because I haven't been out much in years and in the woods as much as I used to be. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Aaron. Can you explain a little? Yeah, I don't know that Sasquatches are evil. I think they're probably like us. They can be evil. We can be evil. Are we good or evil? Yeah, we're good or evil. Or both. Sometimes a little of each. I think they're like that. They seem to be very much people of some sort. But what I'm seeing is a species that can change their abbeys, like, and so they pick the one that is best adapted to whatever planet they're visiting. That's what I'm getting. And Sasquatch are very well adapted to this world. They can do a lot of things we can't. A human body would not be the best adaptation, would not be the best adapted. And they could use a human body if they needed to. I'm thinking they probably, it looks like they have human abbeys they can use too. Yeah, no, me too, Aaron. I'm still asking questions. I'll probably be asking questions for a long time. I'm trying to make heads or tails out of the questions too, how that could be answered. Because hey, if I can mind speak with them, I might be able to ask them. That's what I think. I think they're like us. Yeah, and animals still have that sense. Yeah. Yep, a mixed bag of jelly beans. You know what? My spot too. Real big. This is the kind of terrain they love. I'm right in Ohio, right in the area of the world. They just love it here. They just love the terrain. This is the kind of terrain they like and everything. And what you guys, if you guys look at the pictures I dropped onto the MeWe group, one of them is, it's like they want me to know. They want me to know they're here. Right here, right near a path where people walk their dog is one of those bent over trees. One of those snapped and bent trees. That's one of the signs. It's right on the path. I took a picture of it because I said, well, because I kept saying, could this be, and people would say, well, look for more signs. Then I come across a snapped over tree. bent over just like it, and smudged out vehicle tracks, smudged by something very big, looking like great big footprints that you can't really hardly see because cameras don't pick that kind of thing up very well. Unless you have just the right lighting, you can't hardly see it. But just to see that the tracks were smudged out by something really big in various spots, like something was walking over those tracks, smushing them down. Well, I don't know. But if I were them, I'd be very careful because there are people who would take that opportunity to either catch them or kill them. I mean, people don't know to keep their kids away from Bigfoot. They're not going to. People are dangerous. Yeah. People are weird. They'll make trouble for each other over strange shit. If you're a 15-foot hominid, hairy hominid. Hairy hominid. How many girls dated him in college? Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, the woods go quiet, very quiet. And they are coming more. They're right where people walk their dogs through this path. Look at those pictures. They're right where people drive their vehicle, like people go biking and stuff. And it's like they want me to see it. The tree snapped over is right on the path, right on it. And the footprints are right there. And the forked limb in the tree is right where I could see it, positioned perfectly where I would be able to see it. All of this stuff, they put it like right where I'm going to see it. They want me to see it. They want me to. Maybe that's why I'm worried. They want me to. And I know they're trying to get in touch. And I'm not entirely sure I'm ready. I got you, Aaron. Thanks for coming. You ask good questions, too. And dream well. Yeah. Well, without the Bigfoot channels, I'm thankful for them because without the Bigfoot channels, I wouldn't know what to look for. I wouldn't know what I was looking at. I'd just sit there and wonder why that happened. Did a storm knock that over? No, there weren't any other trees. Did it get hit by lightning? No, that's the way they do trees. It's weird. There you go. Maybe they're afraid that somebody would try to catch them and wax them. Yep, maybe that'll be my answer. Next time somebody says, why don't they just, they're afraid they will try. There was a movie, it was really stupid. It was a Jeff Goldblum movie where these three aliens show up and they take them, they're trying to hide them and disguise them. They take them to a spa. and have them waxed and trimmed and everything. It was so funny. It was like, so I'm thinking, what if that, we know how torturous that can be, don't we, ladies? I think you've got I think there's some truth in that, truth within. Wow, that's cool. I'm so big-footed out. Like I said, I think it's because I don't want to see it. I'm afraid of what's going to happen after I do see him and make contact. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a date with destiny, I think. It's a date with destiny. That, and the last time I wanted to go see him, these other things showed up. These other lizardy things showed up. Of the kind that Mark encountered. And I couldn't go out there. So I got to make sure that it is a real thing and not just a lure to get me out there. Because I think they do poison people. These things poison people. They like to use poison and stuff. They ain't getting me. I'm not curious enough. I've already had enough experiences to last me a lifetime to satisfy my curiosity that all kinds of stuff exists. I mean, sure, Olin. It's kind of a specialty. There are people who would probably love them to death, too. Just like they do everything else. I hear that there is a tribe of Native Americans trying to get them declared people. Visions during meditation. Done a lot of meditating. I'm sure there are people in here that can help you all kinds of ways with that. Yeah. Yeah, I get it during meditation mostly. I've run into a lot of videos where people communicated with them. Yes, there is a Native American tribe. This is just the scoop that I heard. And it was in one of the videos, I think the Duke showed me, that there is a tribe of Native Americans trying to get Sasquatch declared as people so that people have to stop hunting them. But I think there's a reason why they won't do it, why they're very resistant to it, just beyond the fact that it probably sounds that they don't want to disclose, but there's more to it. If they are people, then do they have land rights? See, if they're people, they would have rights. They would not be animals. They would be people. They would have some rights under the law. And all kind of a can of worms could be opened that way. You see? Because if they're people, changes the game. Yep, that's what I think is going on too. I think I can see that. Oh yeah, feed them junk food. Yeah, they need that. Not. Yeah, just ruin their immune system like it ruins ours. Oh yeah, you mentioned that. Oh yeah, I'll look into that for you if you'd like. Yeah, everybody feeds them junk food. Oh my gosh, it would be. Yeah, I have a little bit of experience with runes. I may be able to help you. I have read them before successfully, although they're not my primary way. Right. Exactly why the government won't recognize them. If they have rights, then what? If they're people, they should have rights. If they have rights, what rights will they have? And what will that lead to? Think about it. I mean, think about previously before Africans were thought to be people, before Indians were people. And then when they become people, what happens? They all of a sudden have rights. And then it comes into it becomes contested. All kinds of things do. Yeah, fruit is one thing. McDonald's is another. True, so true. Hey, you guys, I have a music video. If you never saw it on my page, you want to see a music video for a minute? That I made myself. The territory, yeah, that's true. They'd have to fence off the territory they live in as a sanctuary. They'd have to maybe give them land to live on. They'd have to maybe acknowledge UFOs, because UFOs are usually seen when you see the Bigfoot, and have some relationship to them. Why? I think it looks to me like that's where the real bodies are. The people in the ships are using the Bigfoot avatars. Because they're very adapted to this world. And if that's true, that's why you see the flying saucers. But there's more to that. People also have ghost experiences when flying saucers show up, and time slips, and other stuff. So it's all related. Is truth going too? Okay, have a good one. Yeah, I'm not going to be on real late tonight myself either, because I get tired too. I just wanted to be on late a little bit for the people who don't get to be on much early. A music video. Okay. Yeah, I wondered that too. Is that why the national parks? Okay. So you can keep chatting. I'm going to do a share screen, and I want to show you my music video. I think this is it. Let me see. This must be it. Let's see if it is. No. Well, but I can find it real quick. Look at all that hair. Oh, anyway. I cut my hair recently a little bit. Where did I put that video? Where is it? No, not that. There it is. Okay. What you talking about, Mandela? Okay. So that's my music video.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mindscape podcast. I'm your host, Sean Carroll. And I wanted to tell you.
I'll get the hang of this one day. Still getting the hang of it. I needed to go potty. I needed to go pee. Just letting you know. So, hey, it worked. It was long enough. Need to make some more of those so that I can have something to show you when I have to go. Go for a minute. You did? Thank you. So let's see what you were talking. Oh, yeah. They call them bears. Yeah, and you know, why should natives tell us anything when we just tell them that they're crazy? Don't respect it. Why? A lot of people do. That's my first music video that I ever did. I did the music for it and everything. I did all the music, all the art and everything. So I'm very proud of it. I want to do more of those. You guys, do you think I do those well? Should I do more music videos? Just thought I'd put it up to a vote. Of course, to tell you the truth, I am going to do more music videos regardless. I have other stuff that I want to do videos too. Somebody I may have to pay somebody to help illustrate, to help me do one, because I want to do one. There's a few of them that I want to do that I'm going to need some help with. Yeah. I remember the Berenstain Bears because I thought it was ridiculous. I thought, that's weird. That's a weird name, the Berenstain. Why would you call them the Berenstain Bears? But everybody else remembers it different. Maybe I came from the other one. Maybe I really came from the other place and landed here. Boy, that would make sense to me. Sure was foreign when I got here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to make more music videos regardless. That one took a lot of time, though, to edit, let me tell you. But I actually kind of like editing. But it takes a long time. And I have to kind of justify the time in my head it takes to make music videos. Because it takes a while. So, I think, gosh, do I have anything else that I really have to do? Because once I get embroiled in doing videos, I'll go the whole day and then not eat. It'll be like 8 o'clock and I'll be there like, wait a minute, it's 8 o'clock. Did I eat anything? I don't know that I did. Boy, that's not good. Did I even drink anything? Not since 8? 12 hours later, it's like, I'm weird. I'm like a workaholic sometimes. That's really weird. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Linda. I have some more stuff, music that I did that's like that. It's the electronic type music that I did on my site. Let me see if I can find, might be able to play some of it in the background. Wow, see, I'm trying things. I can't. I'm new to this. I'll get the hang of it though. I'll get the hang of all these things that I have to learn though for this medium. It's a lot to learn, really. It's really a lot to learn. Let me see if I can find my darn website. Wait. Am I sharing this to StreamYard? No, it's not showing up. Okay. Yeah, the Mandela effect. I'll tell you about a recent Mandela effect of mine. I shared it somewhere else, but I might as well share it here. I was at Mark's and I was looking for pancake mix, but I wanted a particular kind of pancake mix. I wanted I was really in the market for a complete pancake mix, not a one that you had to add a lot of stuff to. So I pull up one that says light and fluffy, and I read on it. It says, no, you need eggs and milk for that. And there, nah, I don't want that. I put it right down. And I look at a couple of others up here that similar price, a little cheaper even. And see, you know, and I'm looking at them, and I'm pulling a couple out, and I'm looking one at looking at the other. And this lady that's been kind of around me all of the time in the store, you know, it's like we keep kind of bumping into each other, looking for stuff in the same aisle. She comes right up behind me and she goes, oh, are you looking for a complete pancake mix? Try this one. And she points at the box I had just had in my hand. And the box was different. I put the other two down. I'm like, what? She says, here, this one's complete. How did she know that's what I was looking for? How did she know, first of all? Second of all, unless she just read them on the... And she pointed right at the box I had just had in my hand, and the box had changed. It was now complete. You didn't have to add an egg or anything to it, just water. And I'm like, oh boy, it just happened again. I have that kind of stuff happen a lot. I have a birthmark that vanished. How does a birthmark vanish? I don't know. Yeah, that's another one. That's another one. Or was there ever really one with Sinbad? I don't know. Sometimes you can find what they call residue. See, that's just it. There's so many things playing into this. We don't know. I'm sure somebody knows for sure what's going on. I'm sure of it. We're just not being told. Somebody knows exactly what's going on with all this stuff. Now, actually, yeah, Sinbad and Shaq, and he was wearing a lot of makeup in that. And Shazam does sound like Kazam. It's weird, isn't it? Pre-programs. Yeah, maybe. Well, there you go, once again. We've had so much fiction that's not really fiction. I'm beginning to wonder if any of it's fiction. Well, I'm sure that some of it's actual just fiction. No, I'm not sure. I can't be sure of that. I can't be sure. We have maybe millions of probabilities of probable timelines. If it changes every time we make a decision, then we could have millions of them. How do I know that there isn't one where that's real? Yeah, that's another one. Whoops. Yeah. Well, you can call in here. But you don't need a phone. All you have to do is click that link and turn down your YouTube. So if you click this link and turn down the YouTube, you can come in and tell us about it. You want to come tell us about it? Yeah, that's interesting. There you go. Yeah, it's fun.
So today, well, this morning for my time, we turned on the pump and I could hear bubbles bubbling up. So I looked in. When I looked in, I heard the bubbles. It looked like the tank was almost empty. So I walked down, turned the pump back off, primed it, came back up. Tank was half full. I was like, hang on. Pump was even on before and it doesn't pump up that fast. Where did all this water come from? So unless it was half full the whole time, but somehow I've seen it as empty, I reckon, like, seen it one way and it was actually another. Like, is that the Mandela effect or what?
Yeah, that could be the Mandela effect. Yeah, where you kind of skip. Well, it's like all of a sudden here. The thing that's weird about mine is that if this woman hadn't pointed it out, I might not have even noticed it because I'd already put it down and just written it off. No, I don't want that one. It's not a complete. If she hadn't pointed out, that's the weird part. I wouldn't have noticed. But I've had lots of them, tons of them. I can't even remember.
And then
all
2
of them.
hours later, the pump was full. The tank was full. It's like, hang on, it don't take 2 hours to fill that tank up. So yeah, it's like, I don't know what was wrong, and I know how that pump works. It don't pump that fast.
Well, honestly, that kind of stuff has been happening a lot more to people. Or is it that people are telling other people about it more often?
Mm.
Yeah, it could also be that. Just like mine could be, the mix is complete and so are you. I don't know.
Yeah, but I know how long that pump takes to pump, and literally, I know what I saw, and it was just too weird. It definitely wasn't
And
normal,
that
but I don't
sort
think
of
it was
thing
paranormal.
happens. Well, I think I told on my own stream here when I used to have a place that I'd stop off. It's weird when whole buildings change. When the topography changes, when buildings change and come and go, that's another one. When you have buildings that are just not there and then, sometimes they even revert back. It's weird. It's like, okay, so what really is going on here? And some people say CERN, or is it? Because ever since I died, over 35 years now, I've been having these effects before anybody had a name for them. Nobody was calling them Mandela effects. Nobody even believed me when I talk about it. It's like, but, I mean, people would just say, oh, isn't that weird? How did that happen? And write it off. You just write it off if you try to talk about it. You couldn't really talk about it. Now we have some way to talk about it. So, yeah, that totally can happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie that doesn't exist, Chris. That's right. I looked into that one once. I got the same thing. There's so many of them that, sure, it could just be a misprint. You know, some things could just be a misprint. But what I remember about some of them is product brands have changed their labels. So Jiffy, I do remember, I seem to recall that Jiffy was once the name of Jif peanut butter, and they shortened it to Jif. I don't remember when that was, but I remember them doing that. But now, in this reality, apparently they never did that. They never did change the name. But the one that really blows my mind, most people's minds, is Ed McMahon. Everybody knows who Ed McMahon is, right? Everybody knows Publishers Clearinghouse. Most people remember Ed McMahon being a spokesperson for Publishers Clearinghouse. That if you won, Ed McMahon would show up to your door with a check. And now they're saying that never happened. He never was. That never existed. He was never their spokesperson. They never would have him at your door. I have very clear pictures in my mind of that. So a lot of people do. As a matter of fact, the majority of the people remember that. They don't remember this one. Now, what one guy remembered was instead of Mandela dying back in the 80s, they had a mock memorial for him to focus attention on him to get him out, where they were acting like he was, they were giving practically a eulogy for him. Hey, in my reality too, there's another weird one. Hugh Hefner died, and they had a special on about his life. In this one, he didn't die then. So that's another one. And I've had a bunch of personal ones. I've had people shift too. Let me tell you, people have changed. Anybody notice people just change? And they seem to be a whole different person now? I wonder about that too. Hi, Donna. Remember that too? Hi, Donna. I don't believe we've seen you before, have we? Or maybe once or twice. Yeah. So what do you think, Olin? You know that you knew that pump very well. Is this your first one? Is this your first one that you've ever had, or have there been others that you just didn't tell anybody?
What, this my account with the water tank?
Yeah.
No, first time. First time.
Not your first one. Interesting.
I've seen it that
Oh,
empty.
welcome to my world.
I've seen
Haven't
it
seen
that.
it a lot.
I've seen it that empty before when I accidentally left one of the taps on and it went dry. But I've seen it that empty before, and so I know what I saw. And yet, when I came back up, it was half. So I don't know what the geo is there, and I know that pump don't pump up that fast.
It's well, what can you say? Is that all you wanted to say? Because there is a way to get back out when you feel like it's time to leave. There's a little button that lets you out too. But so if you want to comment and stay on, I've got room for 10 people up in here. So you can hang out.
Yeah.
In case you want to speak on something.
I can always come back in if there's a subject I want to speak on. But otherwise, yeah, I'll go back to chat.
Okay. There's just a little button. See, that's the thing. What happens when a bunch of people remember stuff like that? Yeah. Yeah, it is very nuts. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. The matrix is starting to get kind of transparent. Time has been very flaky for me too. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm so glad when I can find people that you can just talk and don't have to worry about forever recriminations. But you were wrong once, but you were wrong, but you were wrong. You know, there are people who would rather die than be wrong. And it's like, no, you can be wrong. And you say, oh, gee, I was wrong about that. But I'm right about this. You know, it's like, what's the big deal? Why are people flipping out about this? Yes, Ed McMahon was spokesperson for the clearinghouse. Now they're saying he never was. Yeah. And loads of people remember that. But Jif peanut butter when I was a kid was Jiffy. Trust Jiffy. And going head to head with Jiffy was Peter Pan. But then later on, when they changed it to Jif, choosy mothers choose Jif. Yeah. It was Jiffy at one time. So there's a lot of things like that. Looney Tunes. Is it Toons or is it Tunes? Is it tunes for cartoons or tunes like music? Supposedly, it's tunes like music now. I do too. I have Jif on my counter this moment. Yes, originally it was tunes with two O's. Now it's tunes with a U. Yeah. There's so many things like that. And then I wonder too. I wonder, is it that they tell me they've been mind speaking with me since I was getting to Bigfoot. My hair is weird. I got to tell you something about my hair that's not really, that I think is kind of neat though, which is why I kind of would like it to stay the same color. This is my natural color, by the way. This is it. This is as much gray as you see in it, as much gray as I have. This is my color. But the interesting thing about my hair is under different lightings, it's radically different. In some lighting, I look so blonde. In other lighting, I'm so brunette. But out in the sun, I'm a redhead. And I didn't realize this because I never would look at myself in a mirror out in the sun. So when people would refer to me as a redhead, I just thought they were nuts. I'm just like, redhead? Who are they talking about? Well, you, me? How am I a redhead? Because to me, I already saw the thing where, yeah, in fluorescent light, it would often look very blonde, and then in incandescent light, it would look brunette. But I hadn't seen the red thing yet. So when I saw the red, and then I looked, oh boy, sorry about that. And then I saw the red, and I turned back thinking about some of my pictures, and I realized, yeah, there were pictures when I was in the swimming pool. There's a picture. I remember seeing a picture of me in the swimming pool where my hair was red, very red. Looked very, very red. I just thought it was the camera screwing up. Nutella or peanut butter. Yeah, according to Jiffy never existed. There is Jiffy Pop. And that might be why they changed it too. Could be they changed it so that it wasn't mixed up with Jiffy Pop. Could have been, but now they're saying it never happened at all. Here's the one I remember. Interview with the Vampire. I had a thing for vampires for a while. I would read every vampire thing I could find and watch all of the movies and stuff. I liked them. Well, most of them, and a lot of them involved cute guys too. That kind of helped in a lot of them. But anyway, I liked vampires. So nice and scary. I think my mom got me started on that. But anyway, so I remember it was Interview with the Vampire. And the interesting thing about that is everybody remembers Interview with a Vampire. But yeah, and I remember thinking to myself that it was, so I'm on the other side of that one too. That's a strange way to say it, Interview with the Vampire. But what it is at the time, it was a novel, it was a writer writing the story. And so there was only one that he knew of. So it was the vampire until he was told about all these others. So, you know, sort of like if you only know one quarterback, it's like with the quarterback. So, you know, an interview with the quarterback, that guy, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. That's another one. Yeah. Yeah, so, or women or whoever. Yeah, the Monopoly guy never had a monocle. That's another weird one. What was made in your hometown? Oh, you taking off, Aussie? Okay, I'll see you. You have a good night. Oh, Lestat. Yeah, it was, come to think of it. Moving on. Okay. The only one that never was interested in the vampires. I didn't have any interest in Twilight, oddly enough. I never did. I don't know why. Just never did. By that time, you know, it was funny because I like magic and I like fantasy. I didn't get into Harry Potter. Once I saw them, pretty good movies. I mean, entertaining. But for some reason, I just wasn't into them. I had other stuff I was busy with. I don't know. Yeah, it was more of a teen thing. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Interview with the Vampire, yeah. Well, yeah, Harry Potter. The movies were interesting as far as actual magic and magic school. At least not any version I know of. So, yeah. Ooh, Ettri's mind is about to explode. Everybody duck. There could be mine shrapnel everywhere. Why is your mind exploding, Ettri? You care to share? I'm trying to look back and see why her mind is exploding. Yeah. Well, I think Twilight, oh, Outlander. I never did see all of that, so I don't know. I don't know much about, yeah. But when I finally saw some of these movies, they were okay as movies, but exciting and all that. You know, just not exactly my style. But not everybody's as nice as Olin. Other guys, man. Yeah, Underworld and Blade. Well, I gotta say, I liked Queen of the Damned. That was fun. That was fun. It didn't go with the book very well. I mean, first of all, Lestat had blonde hair, duh. Just from the get-go. But so if you just throw out the books and just watch these movies, well, it's that way with a lot of movies. In order to enjoy a movie, I almost have to forget I ever read the book. Because if you read the book, you're not going to like the movie, probably. Because they always get it wrong. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was interesting where they were talking about that kind of thing. However, there are some real things about Harry Potter that brought up. Like in there, I noticed. I can't remember who played Lestat. I can't even remember that. You know what, Denali? I think so. That's a good one to put on a t-shirt. Maybe I'll do it. I'm thinking of making t-shirts. What do you think, guys and gals? I haven't even shown you any of my art. Well, you see some of my art in my videos. I have some of my art in my videos, but I have extensive amounts of art that people look at it and they go, boing, it's like, what? Yes. You like washing Twilight. You want to wash some of the glitter off of them? That's kind of funny. I'm teasing you, Linda. Washing Twilight. Yeah, your dog likes the wolves. Oh, the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that was another one. They tried very hard with that, though. I think they did probably as good of a job as could be done with that. It'd be very hard. I mean, Yeah, it was a very complicated and long book. I think they did about as well as anybody could do with that. They tried very, very hard. Yeah, the actors, after a while, the actors just blurred. It's like, after a while, they're all like, who did that? This guy or that guy? I can't remember. Some dark-haired guy. Some dark-haired heartthrob kind of guy. I didn't see Mona. My fingers and the outer type are having a fight on. I thought maybe you were washing the glitter off the vampires so people wouldn't suss them out that they were vampires. I'm just teasing. You know what? I'll tell you what. It was not precise, but some parts of it was Ghost, the movie Ghost. There were some parts of that were very accurate. The Ghostbusters was complete trash. It was funny, it was entertaining, but it was complete trash. BS, complete BS from beginning to end. So there was nothing much real about it. Men in Black, only, you know what? I think that is real, but not with Men in Black. The Men in Black are not that. What that is another something. Maybe there is actually a branch that acts like that. That's not the Men in Black. Those Men in Black are something else. Men in Black appear to be AI, in fact. Oh, a kid's movie. Okay. No, I'm going to yell at you, Olin. See, this is me yelling. Yeah, The Lord of the Rings, well, there may be some truth in that, too. There may be. Is Zetri taking off, too? We're losing people. Maybe it's getting time to wrap it up, is it? I think I'll go just a little bit longer, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. In which case, I'll save I wanted to do my poetry tonight, but I can do it tomorrow. It'll give me something to do tomorrow that you haven't heard yet. Yeah, Loder was partly based on Norse mythology. Yeah. Now, I think Men in Black was a lot of disclosure. The movie. There was a lot of disclosure in there, I think, that they couldn't say was disclosure. But the real Men in Black are different, yeah. The real Men in Black, as far as people who have experienced them, they seem to be AI, and they seem to be getting antiquated and wearing out even. So they're probably some kind of AI. They seem to be mechanical life of some sort. So they're not really anything like the humans you would see in the movie. However, yeah, and frightening, and they are frightening. However, some of the scenarios in the movie, oh yeah, like the first and the second movie, there were a lot of scenarios there that would be taking place on the etheric level. It's almost like looking at us. I mean, I would almost be like that kind of Man in Black type situation. That's the kind of situations I handle. You go in somewhere and you see the place is full of aliens or whatever. If you have the right kind of sight, you could see that. You know, you could see this person is really an alien. I've seen that, in fact. I saw one that was absolutely had, I could tell that there were scales under there. There was a whole different look under there. I don't know. Yeah, I heard that, Chris. I heard something like that too. Yeah, I know, Olin. I've had the same feeling when I've gone in some places and I look at a person, I go, that's not a human. That's not really a human. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder about Wally World too. I do too. I'm like, Wally World may have other connections, but when I'm ready, Dee. Okay, I missed something. When I'm ready. Do you need the link or something? Oh, I already know. Denali. Oh, they'd park near your house and watch. Holy cow. Oh, actually, it's poetry. It's not singing. I had a poem, but it's a rap. Going to be a rap song. I don't have the music to it. Tomorrow, I think we'll do a drum if it's okay with you guys. Another drum. Oh, that's right. I wanted to play some music for you too. A couple of things from my site. It's with loops, but let me find. This one is called OOBA. See if I can get it to play. If not, I'll play it in another. Hang on. Because I'm interested in how you guys find my website. Because I'm trying to, if anybody knows how to do websites better, I mean, I could use some help. How to do the websites better. Because even though that's not the right one, though. Okay, I have to go out of this one somehow. That's not the one. Oops. How do I do this? Stop that one. Stop the screen share. Then go back in. I'm figuring this out, guys. There it is. Okay, I think I got it now. There. Oh, it's not really working that well as I'd hope. Okay. There. Okay, there's my website. Now, see. Now I'm going to go in there and that's the wrong one. Okay. This one. Whoa. What just happened? Something weird just happened. Okay. Here. We'll see if this works. Can you hear it? I'm attempting to do different things with this. Good night, Olin. Yeah, we're just about to close it down anyway. I'm just going to do a little. This one is called OOBE, Out of Body Experience. Can you hear it? I think you probably can. Yeah, I will. So you'd rather have that? Yeah. It worked. You can hear it on my site. Now I'm going to close that down. I got some of that kind of music on my site. Yeah, I got my thing on here. I might as well do the, let me see if I can find it among my files here. And I also have the words to it on, is this it? I have the words to it. If you go on my website, in my WordPress, the words to this are there too, that I'm going to do, because there's a lot of words. It's really quite a lot of words. So, oh, damn, the thing is updating. Okay, let's hope. Okay. Nope, that's not it. It should be here. It should be in here. Now I'm worried. Okay, now I'm really worried. Where in the heck did it go? Well, I wanted to do it. Yeah, I wanted to do a rap song for you. Really? Yes, there is. In MeWe, I left a link from my website. And I'd like you to kind of test it out to see how it works for me. Tell me if it works. Hang on, let me see if I can get to it in another way. I might be able to get to it this way. I also have a link to my artist page on Facebook. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find this. Oh, yeah. Here's a weird one. I have a blog post that I don't really remember down there that seems to have been published in 2030 because this blog timestamps things. And to me, there's a blog that was published in 2030, but 2030 hasn't happened yet. And I was not aware I had time shifted, and yet it's marked private, and I can't get into it to see it myself. And I don't know why I would do that. This is just something I'm reading. This is not the wrap. For now, it will just have to be one more weirdness in a vast sea, because that is just how my life rolls. One more thing to wonder about. Mendelid again. It's been happening for over 30 years now since the day I died. The same day it's the day that the first shuttle exploded was the day I died, by the way. Even that has been Mendelid from my viewpoint. The date has changed several times. I forgot that. The date of my own death and rebirth, sort of, when I came back and revived, changed several times. Plus, I saw a video claiming the crew have been found to be still alive under their same names. For all of you just waking up to the Mandela effect, welcome to my reality. Yeah, somebody actually found them alive. Okay, here. I'm not going to be able to look at chat while I'm doing that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to read this thing tomorrow. Instead, I'm going to read The Dead Shall Rise. I'm not going to rap. I'll do it tomorrow. Instead, I'll read The Dead Will Rise, because it's shorter. But I will read it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. We are all dead, just dead cargo. Now that we know the dead shall rise. We're all just cattle down on the farm, but not forever. The dead shall rise. If we're to be released from being fleeced and have world peace, the dead must rise. Soylent Green has got to go before the chips are up our ass and on every single blade of grass. The prey has learned to use the net. We hope the clouds do not forget. The reset hasn't happened yet. But now behold my second sight. The first one wasn't loading right. I'm Dom, but now all my subs are all online. The world's end came and went, and I still feel fine. We're all dead, just dead cargo. Now that we know the dead will rise, the dead will rise up. It's a dead uprising. The dead will rise. If you have any idea. Okay. Yeah, I will do the wrap, which is considerably longer tomorrow. We've been on 2.5 hours already, and I think that's long enough because I should get some kind of sleep. And we're kind of losing people. We're down to 9. So I think I'm going to wrap this up and see you tomorrow because everybody is tired and going to sleep anyway. Now tomorrow I'll do some drumming and then we'll sleep really good. Okay? Did you like that? Yeah, that was done. Wait a minute. Let me look at when that was done. That was May 29th, 2018. Yeah. That was back in 2018. The reset hasn't happened yet. But now it is. Weird, huh? Thank you. Yeah, I have some stuff like that on that page. You might want to go see it. Thank you. Yeah, I think I want to make a song of that. That would make a good song. I don't know how it would be though. We are all dead, just dead cargo. Now that we know the dead shall rise, we're all just cattle down on the farm, but not forever. The dead shall rise if we're to be released from being fleeced and have world peace. The dead must rise. Soylent Green has got to go before the chips are up our ass and on every single blade of grass. The prey has learned to use the net. We hope the clouds do not forget. The reset hasn't happened yet. The dead shall rise. Behold my second sight. The first one wasn't loading right. I'm down, but now my subs are all online. The world's in came and went, and I still feel fine. We're all just dead cargo. Now that we know the dead will rise, the dead will rise up. A dead uprising. Now that we know the dead will rise. Maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I could do it like a rap too. Let's see, does it work like a rap? We'll just try it. For all of the late people that are here late, I'll try it. Let's see if I could do it like a rap. I'd have to get in the right mood for that, though. It's kind of hard to just do rap cold without anything behind it. Let's see if I can find something that would go with it. This is an experiment, guys, okay? Totally an experiment. Let me see what would go with it. Oh, I want to play for UN in a key. Maybe this would go with it. We are all dead, dead to cargo. Now that we know the dead shall rise. We're all just cattle down on the farm, but not forever. The dead shall rise. We're to be released from being fleeced and have world peace. The dead must rise. Soylent Green has got to go before the chips are up our ass and on every single blade of grass. The prey has learned to use the net. Hope the clouds do not forget. The reset hasn't happened yet. Now behold my second sight. First one wasn't loading right. I'm down, but now my subs are all online. The world's in came and went, and I still feel fine. We're all dead, just dead cargo. Now that we know the dead will rise. Dead will rise up, the dead uprising. The dead will rise, the dead will rise. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know. That was shitty. Maybe. Or maybe it was good. I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, the song in the back is And in a Key. I don't know if that's the right song for that one, but it's a rhythm anyway. Oh, that was good? Okay, cool. Maybe I'll do that then. Maybe that's what I'll use these for. Maybe I'll use them behind a rap. Yeah, this one, I wanted to really get that violent, that sort of you're under my thumb feeling. That's the feeling I was trying to come up with in this one. A little tweaking. Well, thank you. That could be a new thing, yeah. That could be. I could do even a music video that goes with that at some point. Do you like the music too? That's cool, because I have a thing that does the loops, and I like using loops. The only thing is, I can't really sell it because I don't have all full rights. You have to buy the rights, and even then, let me see. I might even use that. Some of these I was thinking I could even use for intros and outros for the show. you know. Really? Thank you. Yeah, somebody was telling me, I went to I actually won at this show too. I went to a karaoke contest and they had the sudden death round. They thought they were going to throw me. And the prize was then something kind of expensive. It was a DVD player, DVD CD player. And I wanted that sucker. And so they would throw something at you in the sudden death round. They'd throw something at you they thought you wouldn't be able to do. So me being an older person, they threw rap at me. Guess what they threw? In the Club by 50 Cent. They figured that there is no way I would be able to do this, right? But that is a very hard song to do, even by somebody who knows it. I've heard other people trying to do that song. Guess what? I had never seen the word. I'd never heard it before. I'd never seen the words. But because I played behind a rapper, I knew how rap kind of went. So I just read it like that with a lot of attitude. Guess what? I won. I think everybody was so shocked. It's like, what just happened? Did that really happen? Okay, yeah, it's time for me to go too. Yeah, I think I will. I think I will work on that. Thank you, Ben. My birthday's coming up still. Hint, hint. No. I did. I won. And then my friend borrowed it and broke it. Oh, thanks. But yeah, I did win it. So, well, I think it was just because they were in shock. And now, of course, I couldn't keep up with it. It's so fast. I couldn't really keep up with the words that well. But the words that I did get out, like I would get quite a string out, they figuring that I didn't even know it. They probably were like, because I've seen people really struggle with some of those rap songs. Then they played the Beastie Boys, one of the Beastie Boys. And so I was like doing the Beastie Boy thing like this, and we were doing Beastie Boys. They're going, Ocean, you can rap. And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess so. Said, you may have a future in rap. I'm like, oh, well, maybe. I think I'll try it sometime. Maybe. You have a good night. I guess that's what makes me the gangsta shaman, right? There's my gang sign. Peace. Okay. Y'all have a good night. And I'm about to close this out. This is Ocean Making Waves. Go make some of your own. Yo. Yo, go make some waves, man. Go make some waves, homie. And actually, there was a time when I was hanging around these people that I sounded so that my older friends didn't know what I was talking about. It's funny. But anyway, okay. And the truth is where you find it. Hope you find some here. I love you. Good night. Have wonderful dreams.